your journey with what you're doing and what God has planned for you. Welcome, everyone. It is Intentional Tuesdays. Let me finish setting everything up. I hope that your week is going by without a whole lot of drama, because life likes to play games, or I'll just say interesting sometimes. There's a lot going on, so I hope that everything's going well with you. I'm going to check everything, make sure that it works, because technology does what it wants. Now, let's see. This looks good. This looks good. First of all, for those who have not been here before, if you are a newbie, hi. I am Penny Owens, and I am your host to Intentional Tuesdays. That is where professionals like yourself come to get a refresher. Okay, we come to refresh our spirits and reset our attentions every single week, not once a year, not once a month, every week, so that we stay ready and we don't have to get ready. Okay, you heard me? That's what that is. Now, today's show is about impact. Do you know what kind of impact you're making for those around you and in your community? And is it the type of impact that you wanted to be making? That's what we're going to explore today. I'm going to give you some insight on how to recognize which one are you doing. Is it positive? Is it negative? Are you not being seen? Either way, we are going to explore and you're going to learn, and we're going to identify where we stand, where you stand. Exactly. Therefore, you know. Now, let's see. All right. Okay, this part is good. Good. The color is looking different today. All right. So it did disappear. Yeah, one moment. Now, this is actually a repeat from last week. Okay. I did impact last week, and guess what? It was not great. I did it in the car and traveling, and at some point, I think a call came through and interrupted the stream. So you guys couldn't really hear a whole lot. I didn't like it. I took it down. But it was on me to make sure that you guys get that message. So we're going to do a part 2 to that one. I erased it so you can't even see part 1. But I'm just saying that's what this one is for, as a recap. So if the title seems familiar, it is. Thanks for noticing. So let's get there. Okay, cool. Oh, everything's switching up. Awesome. So, with today, now, if I can leave this in here like this, cool. I'm trying to make sure that I can get all this in the way that I really, really want to. Now, when it comes to impact, a lot of us, we think we know what it means, but I don't think that we really realize what all it actually impacts. Like, who all are we actually impacting? When we make decisions and when we do things and we make actions and our behaviors, we tend to only think about the immediate people. Let's be honest. We only tend to think about the people we care about. We don't even take into consideration the people we don't care about, the people we don't know. But truth be told, you still impact them too. What we do impacts everyone around us, whether we like them or not, whether we know them or not, whether we see them or not. So I want to help clarify that, because I want to make sure that we are intentional and purposeful about what it is that we are putting back out here into these streets, okay? Because it affects more than us. I mean, really, have you ever seen someone swerving through traffic and you're like, what's going on with them? It ain't got nothing to do with you. But that decision, those actions, it affects you, right? The person in that car, do you think they even see you scrunching your nose up looking at them? No. Do you think they see the person quenching the steering wheel even tighter because they're afraid? No. They're just in their own world doing their own thing. And this is how we travel through life. all the time, every day. We just swerving in and out of traffic, doing whatever we want, what we feel is best, and we are not taking into consideration who we are impacting, who we are affecting, whose days and lives that we are changing. It's not just that it's just people. There are actual lives connected to these people. So we need to be more considerate. I want to make sure that you, you, and you, and you in the back, I can still see you. Exactly. I want to make sure that you are fully aware and held accountable for what you are putting out here into the world. Because, yes, darling, yes, we are being affected by what you're doing. Okay? I'm sure we see that. You can feel it. Do you know what kind of impact that you are directly making? Do you feel as if you are making one? Sometimes we're really only aware of what it is that we're doing. We're just so busy surviving and going through life that we are not aware that anyone's paying attention to us. Yes, there's somebody or people. Yes, let me say people. There's plenty of people paying attention to you, whether you think that you are being seen, looked at, or heard at all. People are paying attention to you. I like to tell my kids, don't be outside in the street. Don't be trying to pick your nose or take a wedgie or something. Now you have no clue who can see you. And nowadays, everybody has a phone. So be very mindful of that. People see you whether you are looking or not. Think about it. You can only see what's in front of you. So you have no clue who you are in the line of sight for. People are watching all the times, and we're doing so many different things on social media, and the internet lasts forever. So guess what? People can be watching you at any point all day long, whenever they feel like, on demand. So don't think that you're not being seen. If you're being seen, you're being watched, you're being listened to, you're being heard. Guess what? You're affecting that person. That person represents a life that affects other people. Okay? Now, I want to give you different ways to sort out these details so that you can identify what type of impact are you making. Is it positive? Is it negative? And is it the one that you want it to be making? It's important. No one else can control you, and no one else has to deal with the side effects of your choices but you and the people around you. But I'm just saying, you want to know what's going on. You want to know what's going on. So let's help you through this right here. I need to open that up so that I can see that. Hey, Lady D, how you doing? See, something just said. Let me make sure that the chat is open. I want to make sure that it's open. I want to say hi. Okay, because I know sometimes I don't even be seeing it depending on where I am in that fight with technology, right? So let me move this back over. Y'all see me moving? Y'all see me moving? Thanks. I'm just happy that you're here. That's all it is to it. Because we are very impactful. Now, everything around us is happening so chaotically. It's unorganized, it's unpredictable, and you know what? That impacts us, okay? Whatever we are doing, it impacts other people, whether you recognize it or not. Whether you think that it's true or not, it is true. What you do matters. What you say matters, okay? It matters. What we put out here into the world creates a whole ripple effect with people that you don't know, people that you will never, ever see. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Like earlier, I gave the example of the one speeding through that car. In their mind, they're just rushing to get to work, or whatever the reason is. They're just rushing to get to work, and they're going in and out of traffic. They've passed 100 lives on just this one street alone. They're not thinking about how they're impacting that person's day. The people in the car, they're getting nervous, they're getting uncomfortable, they're getting angry, whatever their different emotions are about what this driver is doing. That's the biggest, especially this morning, it's the beginning of the day. We just started. Now I got an attitude, or now I'm full of fear. You're affecting the rest of their day. You didn't even know it. You're just trying to get to work. Let alone let an accident happen. Let someone actually get hurt. Then you see a direct effect of what your choices did to someone else. But again, The person in the accident is not the only person that gets affected. Someone has to come to help the people in that accident. Other people are being held up because of that accident. The person has family and friends that will be affected by the news of that accident. There are people that are watching that are being affected by that accident. And this is, of course, a negative example, but it's true. Our choices and our actions affect way more people than we can even number on our hands. You don't know how many people your lives you're going to be touching and affecting, but know that it's going down. It is totally happening. Now, I want to make sure that we understand the clear difference. And this is not whether it's just negative or positive. I want you to understand that you impact other people, because I'm definitely going to be holding you accountable. And it's not just me, because these are not my rules. The Lord's going to hold you accountable for the impact that you are creating for others. Because we all have to deal with it. Okay. I want you to understand this is what you're doing to the rest of us. Yes, I said it. The rest of us. We are all being impacted by whatever it is that you chose to do today, or whatever you chose not to do today. Yeah, all of it is connected. We are connected. Okay. Whether you do or don't, it's affecting all of us. So I want to help make sure that you are very clear and intentional with all your actions and your thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to definitely help with holding all of you individually responsible for your ripple effect, for your input into the world and how you are affecting the rest of us. This is very important. It's very important. I want to bring this to your attention because think about it. Not everyone cares about what kind of impact they have. We see people, I'm not going to name any names, but we see people in leadership and in different roles that have no care. They don't care at all about how they are impacting other people. And it's not right. We have a responsibility to make sure that we control and are aware of what it is that we're doing. It's not right when we don't. Whether you recognize it or not, whether you believe this to be true or not, it's still true. What you do and what you say matters. Now, the ripple effect that's going to be caused for the people who don't even care, it affects all of us. And as we can see with all the stuff that's going on, yes, we are about to be impacted by someone's carelessness, by people's irresponsibleness, the chaotic and just unorganized way that people are moving right now. It's affecting all of us every day. Look at the gas prices. Look at eggs. Look at all the fear and insecurities, like the homelessness that is rising. If you just look at the news alone, you can directly see what it looks like for people who didn't make the decision themselves, but they're being impacted by it. It touches all of us. It's close to home, it's in your home, and it's outside your door. Now, we need to pay attention to this because what it is that we want to create, we have to make sure that we're the ones starting that. You can't control anybody else. So the world that you want to see, yeah, look at the man in the mirror and start creating this. All right. Now, I understand that everyone thinks it's all about me. I don't know who told you that, because that is not true, or it's not true. I don't care what Facebook tells you. I don't care what Instagram tells you. Just because you can post whenever you feel like it, whatever you feel like posting, does not make it true. And even then, you still have rules to follow. So, such is life. We have rules and responsibilities and things to play. Like we have things to do. There's a way to do it. All right. So don't get caught up in the illusion of I can do whatever I want. Who told you that? I don't care if you're grown. I can't stand hearing that. But it's true. You are not able to do whatever you want scot-free without some type of consequence. All right. Or you're definitely going to, at least at the minimalist, you're going to affect other people. You don't just get away with pop walking. You just don't get out. So now we need to be purposeful, and we just need to make sure that, like I said, what we're doing is intentional, especially for yourself. If there's certain things that you want to, like, there's goals you want to reach, there's things that you want to do, Be strategic in all of your actions to begin with. That's why we're here in Intentional Tuesdays. Be intentional and strategic with everything that you're doing so that you know exactly what's going on in your life. But this part, being aware of your impact on others, it's just to hold you accountable and to make sure that you're creating the environment for you to thrive, for your partners to thrive, your family to thrive, your community, because it's not just you. I mean, I'm sure if everybody just look around, all right, don't you think that God did not put us here as individuals? It's too crowded for that. I'm sure he did not just make sure that he created all these different individuals so that the world could be just for you. No, let's get a grip. All right. That just doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't. There's too many of us here for us to be here just as individuals. We are collective. God put us here so that we can work together, be held accountable for each other so that we can help each other. We're supposed to be doing this thing called life together. Okay. So accept it. Just flat out accept it, because not accepting that truth is causing you problems. It's causing me problems. It's causing all of us problems. But this is a collective effort here on this planet called Earth in 2025. It's not just about you. It doesn't work that way. Of course, it would sound nice. It'd be easier. But would it really? Would it be easier if it was just you in the way that you wanted to do things? No, you'd be lonely. It would be quiet. It would not be the way that you think. It just wouldn't. That's just the truth. But you are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are strong. I'm glad that you're here, a part of the team. So let's get together and let's see what kind of impact you are making so that you can do it intentionally and be aware. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 things, and we are going to start off with the negative impacts because I'm just kind of observing and I want to make sure that they get addressed. Okay, I want to make sure that they get addressed. Now, first, some people, they're just not aware that they are making a negative impact. And one of the ways that you can at least start thinking, am I making a negative impact on other people? Is it quiet when you walk into a room? Some people, they're used to functioning in chaos. They don't even question it. This is just a regular Tuesday. Like, this is just a regular Tuesday. I'm used to this behavior. This always goes on around me. But I'm just saying, let's not just use that as an excuse that you're just used to it. Let's figure out what's going on. All right. Let's just look at it. Now, do people get quiet when you enter a room? Do they get uncomfortable or do they seem intimidated? I'm just saying, do they look at you a little crazy when you show up? That may be a sign that you are impacting others negatively. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes people may just see your authority. They want to give you some respect. There's other reasons that can have people making that kind of action. Folks just getting quiet when they see you. It doesn't always have to be negative, but most times, if they get quiet and get real stiff when you show up, it might be you. I'm just saying. No sense in being in denial about it. And if you are one of those people who can say, well, this happens all the time, then you're the common denominator. You really, you might want to accept it. Yeah, bruh, it might be you. It might be you. So now when they get, I'm not saying that when people, like, as soon as you enter the room, you can feel it, it's all tense. Like I said, there can be a lot of different reasons behind that. And I'm not telling you that you even need to really care or be bothered and really actually know the details of why. Why is it quiet in here? Why y'all stop talking? You don't actually have to know that part, but you should be curious. You should be curious. You should wonder, especially if it happens multiple times. You should probably ask some questions just a little bit like, okay, well, this ain't the first time. What is that? You want to know why. Be curious about it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a huge thing. It's probably not. But at least you would understand what's going on. Is there something that you need to address? You will give yourself a moment, an opportunity, maybe to get some clarification for either you or the other people. Whatever it is, A question is just a question. It's just that it's not the end of life. But you should, I believe, that it's good to understand why that happens, especially if it happens often. Okay? Especially if it happens often. Now, sometimes people can get quiet just because it's awkward. It might be an insecurity. It might not have anything to do with you. But at least if you inquire, then you get to find out whether it is you or not. Now, a second way that you can find out whether or not you are impacting people negatively, do people come to you for advice? Now, I am not saying that they need to come to you like Google, asking you all kinds of questions, and I got to ask you this, and I was wondering, and can you help me with that? That's not what I'm saying. But if you, knowing yourself, are a well of knowledge, you are full of skill, you just, you have a lot of different life experiences, you know your stuff, and you have people sitting right next to you that would rather go around you to ask questions, sit in their ignorance, or just stay quiet, just not to ask you. It might be you. If you know for a fact you have a lot to give, you have very powerful insight that you are just full of on a regular basis, but you are not getting the questions, like people are just not coming up to you and seeking that information, like they just don't even want to hear what you have to say, it might be you. And this could be for a lot of different reasons. It could be just maybe a bad interaction that you may have had with each other or experience. Maybe it's a trigger from something way back when, for whether it's you or them. There can be a whole bunch of different reasons why they may not be coming to you. But people should recognize wisdom and knowledge. People need information and we need help. So at some point, they should be comfortable enough to just ask you. Why not? Why not? I mean, you just have to ask yourself, why are they not comfortable? I know a lot of stuff. I'm good. I could be helpful in this situation. Why are they not coming to me? Why would they rather go around me and ask other people or just sit confused? It might be you. They may not feel welcome, or they may feel embarrassed. They might feel like, I shouldn't even have to be asking these questions, or maybe he's going to look at me differently, or, it could be genuinely them. It can be. But you be curious, find out what's going on, especially when you have knowledge and talent and gifts in there. We need that. There's enough people walking around ignorant. If you know that you got some good stuff to give, come on, shorty, don't be stingy with it. I'm gonna need you to share that and put these out here in these streets because we need it. So just be curious. It's not a bad thing asking questions. Figure out why these people do not feel comfortable with asking you, okay? So we can get it fixed, especially if you have some good information. No one should be, I guess, without advice and wisdom. We don't want to leave it to the computers to answer all of our questions, especially when you have real life help. Like, this is going to be a real problem. It really is. It's going to be a problem later on. So let me move this. All right. Another thing is, the third way that you can tell whether or not you might have a negative impact on other people, people aren't happy to see you. Now, that sounds very similar to getting quiet when you enter the room and not asking you for help. And I'm not just saying that people need to be like, oh, I can't wait to see you. No, it don't have to be dramatic like that. But you can tell when folks kind of, here he go again. All right, I'm about to leave. They leave in the room real quick. They don't want to be in your presence. They can't stand to be in your presence. They are purposely leaving or positioning themselves. Yeah, I think that's very clear that it might be you. Something's going on. What happened? Even if you think, well, I didn't do anything, something happened. There's something there. And if there's a miscommunication, let's say that they're just assuming it's you and it's not, show up, ask some questions so that you can clarify what's going on. Figure out what's going on. Do not get comfortable just being the outsourced, like the black sheep and the one that everyone doesn't like. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? People not liking you? Not wanting to talk to you? Not wanting to hear your voice? I don't care what you say. Yeah, I said it. I don't care what you say. You are not comfortable with that. Whatever it stemmed from, whatever you're used to, whatever in your history and your life that needs to get healed, and or forgiven so that you don't feel like you deserve that. You need to start working on it, homie. Yes, you need to start working on it. I'm giving you your first assignment of homework, because if nobody wants to be around you, there are the majority. That makes you the minority. That makes you the common denominator. You need to figure out why. And you know what? Especially in my line of work, a lot of times it's not even just you. It genuinely came from something or someone else. But you deserve to have the best life, and you deserve for people to want to be around you. You deserve not to be by yourself. Like I said, there's too many of us here. The world is crowded. So God did not put us here to be by ourselves. So do not accept, no one likes me. It's all right. I don't care. I'm just going to say whatever I want. No, 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 no. That's how immature people think. We're going to work on that. Okay, we're going to work on that, because you deserve peace and happiness. And I'm sure you have a lot to give us. And only you can give it to us. I want to make sure that you show up, and you should want to show up too. So don't just be out here pop locking and being mean and being petty because you think nobody like you. That's not the truth. I mean, a couple people might not like you, but I don't know what happened. So you want to figure that one out. Now we're going to switch it over. Positive. How can you identify whether or not you are making a positive impact in the world, in these streets? We're going to flip it. People are excited to see you. And I'm not talking about when you have money and gifts and you just, oh, I just can't wait to be there. They want to be next to you for some clout. I'm just saying, not necessarily that, but they do light up genuinely when you come around. They cluster closer to you. They come near in groups. They bring other people near you. They want to introduce you to other people in their lives. Okay. When that happens, you might be doing something good. You are elevating something in their life that they take value in. Okay. Whether it was words, your presence, your kindness, maybe they just really like what they see in you. There's a lot of people that we may never ever exchange words with, that they see you and it makes them feel better. You mean hope for them. They've watched you either go through something, they watch how you handle yourself, how you maneuver on a regular basis, and they're proud of you. And they want some of that to rub off on them. Like I said, it doesn't have to actually be personal. You don't have to actually even know these people. People watch us all the time. We are in the background on people's pictures. I'm sure you just don't even know. Didn't know they took it. And you're on their page. You're a part of history for them. You're a part of their lives. We don't know that kind of stuff. And it's all over the place all the time. But they're looking at you and they're like, you know what? That's what I want for myself. I want to be like that. I want to have those things, or I wish I had that family, or the way that they carry themselves. I wish I had, that posture and that demeanor, that authority. Like, they're watching you. And that's a good thing. Sometimes people get irritated when they get copied. That is a compliment. If people are watching your page, whether they even talk to you or not, if they are watching your page, if they are liking you, of course they follow you. Now, don't get caught up in those likes and follows. That's still not real life. They're not your homie friends. They're your Facebook friends. Let's be real. But if people are paying attention to you, sharing what you're talking about, it's a compliment. Don't get irritated. Like, oh my goodness, I just wore that. Why she got that on? Or, see, he got my whole flow. He's trying to mimic my style. That's a compliment. Okay, it's a compliment, because that means you're doing something right. You're catching their attention, and they want it. They want it for themselves. That's life. It's okay. You don't have to be upset about it. Now, another way that you can tell that you are making a positive impact is when people repeat things that you have said. When they repeat what you're doing. Like I said, that is a compliment. Now, I was going to say that we don't repeat ignorance, but that would be a lie. That would be a lie, because we repeat dumb stuff all the time. But we're trying to put an end to that. We're trying to balance that out right now. But people comment. They'll repeat things to you. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and they told you the joke or the story that you was the one that told them? Like, it. They just, for whatever reason, they assumed it was theirs or that they made it up. You gave it to them. Just let them have it. And take note. I'm the one that told you that. And you thought it was so good, you wanted to keep it. You liked it, enjoyed it so much, you wanted to make it your own. It's a compliment. It's a raggedy one, but it still is. it's still a compliment. When people, because another example that we don't understand, people can hear us. People are in earshot of us when they're in line with us in the grocery store or they're on the other side of the cubicle, right? When they're in the room or the house and you're just on the phone, people can hear you. I have no clue why we keep thinking that we're in this world by ourselves. Just because you can't necessarily see and you're not looking around to acknowledge everyone in the same room with you or in the same space, that does not mean that someone's not paying attention to you. So people hear us all the time. They hear us all the time. And if they agree with something that you said, if they take insight of anything that you may have said, they'll keep it. They will repeat it, rinse, recycle, and reuse. You may know about it, and other times you probably won't. But it's there, and it's a compliment. You must be doing something good. Even if you think it's a harsh comment, and this is for negative comments, things that we said too, people still have to be in agreement with you when they repeat it. They get excited about it. You're giving them energy. You may be fueling insecurity or courage. We can't really dictate what's necessarily exactly positive and what's exactly negative. And you don't know how it's going to impact other people and what they do with that information. But them repeating you, yeah, they're definitely being impacted by what you're saying and doing. And third, another way that you can identify whether or not you are making a positive impact, just observe. When you see your environment start to change and you see the differences from what it was before you got into that environment, whether this be a family structure, a restaurant, an event, a job, when you know that you are bringing stuff to the table, you are authentically being yourself and you are contributing to this environment, and you start to see it shift, especially in the areas that you know that you contributed. Like, let's say that you brought an idea for a special day at work to acknowledge all the employees and it's implemented. They're actually doing it. You brought that. That was you. You changed the environment. Let's say that you are bringing coffee and donuts. Please stop bringing coffee and donuts, okay? People need food, not cavities or diabetes. I digress. When you bring things like food to the cafeteria or the break room, and now other people are doing it or they're looking for it, you're changing what they're used to. When you bring questions and answers to meetings, and you start to see, okay, you guys heard me. People are starting to act on what I've said. You are changing the environment. That's a good sign that you are making a positive impact. We easily affect multiple people, so many people with every little thing that we do and say, but we're just not aware of it. Now that you are aware, what are you going to do? Analyze yourself. Be honest with what it is that you find. Look at the different interactions of the people around you at home and at work, during social events. Just be curious in your own life. Sit back, shut up, and be observant. Like, do this all the time. Just be observant. Watch how people move around you so that you can see, well, what is it that I'm doing? Be curious. If there's something in you that stands out to you, ask some questions. Well, why'd you do that? Or how do you see me? Have I impacted? Just flat out, you can ask them too. Have I impacted your life? You are going to be so amazed at the different stories that you're going to hear by those around you that are close enough to actually answer that question. Because you don't know what people take from you and your example. They don't have to actually ask you to do anything, but they're just observing and they're just absorbing it all the time, whether it's good or bad, positive and negative, intentional or an accident. It's still happening. So be curious in your own life so that you can figure out what it is that you're doing and make an executive decision. What type of impact do I want to leave for those people around me, for the ones that I know? And what type of impact and ripple effect do I want to cause in my community for the people I don't know? Make a decision for yourselves, because at least you need to know what you're doing. I think that makes sense. Don't you want to make sure that you know what you're doing? Because as you can see, and again, we are all being impacted by the lack of self-awareness, responsibility, organization, and chaos that others are causing for all of us, is that the kind of effect that you want to do? Do not Don't cheat yourself and don't cheat the rest of us by saying, I don't care. I don't care. It's a lie. It's all lies. Yes, you do. You do care. So act like it. Do it intentionally. Do it on purpose. And make sure that you hold yourself accountable for the ripple effect that you are causing across the globe. And I mean it, globe. The internet by itself is one reason that has connected us. We are so much closer together. We're on the same playing field now with this internet. So please stop thinking that you are not impacting somebody. And everyone of influence or leadership roles, matter of fact, even if you're not a leader, if you have a social media page, you're already affecting multiple, many people. So take the influence and your responsibility important. Like make sure that it is important to you. Take it seriously because you are not just affecting people, you're affecting lives. And I'm happy that you decided to be here today and do it intentionally. Next week, it'll be something special. I can't wait to see you guys there because we are going to open up a part of us that usually stays dormant. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I ain't going to say that it's a secret. You got to show up next Tuesday to find out. But I'm going to help you open up a dormant part of yourself so we can make sure that your 2025, you are thriving, that you are living your full life, and you're not wasting no time in these streets. Okay, we don't have no time for it. But thank you for coming, everyone. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye. I love it.